right. It's gotten better.
What is your rate control, Late?
Huh?
The rate control on your bit rate. Right above bit rate where it says rate control. If you're using Streamlabs, you may be using OBS.
Nah, I'm using OBS.
Okay.
I'd love to tell you where that is as well, but I also have no idea.
I thought they were called abs. What the heck are obes?
I guess since there's no fight, I guess we should turn on happy music.
Nice.
There you go, happy music.
True. I'm not currently in there because the PC is updating, but you said turn on happy music, and I just thought of, like, you know, bubblegum fairyland music.
Pretty much what it is right now.
Hey Klaus, you need to press and hold to verify that you're human.
I know. Dude, some days it's super quick, other days you have to hold it down forever.
I don't even have to go through that. All I do is I type in DNDB, hit enter, it automatically goes to my character sheet.
Do you do it through Tailspire or do you have it on another screen?
I have it on another screen because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screens.
Yeah, mine's on Tailspire. Plug in.
Yeah, I only got I have 3 monitors, but I have a fourth. I just don't have any room for it.
I have
I
a
have an-
third one, I just don't have room for it.
I have an 8th one sitting out in the living room right now. My 9th one. Oh wait, no, I don't have a 9th one. I was gonna say my 9th one is technically a TV, but the resolution is crap because it's one of the original thin TVs. It's not a smart TV, and I only keep it around so I can plug like my Genesis and Dreamcast and stuff in when I want to have a nostalgia day.
Ah.
Because TVs nowadays don't have the damn red, yellow, white plugs on them. What's up?
Before we start...
42.
Yeah. I know you said you haven't found them yet, but your old Magic cards, you know if you had any of the dual lands from back in the 90s, the original dual lands?
No, I know the cards that I had was around the era of where it was like 3 or 4 sets in a row was big on werewolves and vampires.
That would have been.
I know like my I don't think you would call it commander, but my little is it commander? I don't think it is.
Commander's the 100 card format.
Nope, this was only 60 cards, and it had like your general or whoever, where they had the plus, the minus, and you know each turn you gain so many points on the card. Then you could spend them for the abilities.
Oh, the Planeswalker?
Yeah, there you go. Illidanna, I think is her name, was one of them, and then there was like a dark elf vampire guy was another one.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you had any of the early dual lands from the late 90s, early 2000s, those are like $500 to $700 a piece. If you had any.
Let me see if I can figure out what the set was.
There's been so many sets.
Oh, I know. Okay, so these are all Bolas. I'm on TCG Player right now. Holy shit, 135 pages of Planeswalkers. Liliana.
Liliana, yeah.
Alright, now I just gotta figure out which Liliana it was.
There's
I'll know by the...
174 sets. she could have been reprinted in. Look up Innistrad Midnight Hunt. That may be the set you're talking about.
Nope, I found it. It was LRW, Lorwyn. That's the set that she came from. So it looks like... Yeah, LORWYN. That was the set that she was from. Now I gotta try to figure out what the other guy was. I believe he was...
2007.
I believe it was a dark elf looking guy. See if I can find him here.
How's it going, chat? So there's 3 of us in here now. We're about to get
Oh, it
started
says
in a
2
minute.
for me.
It says 3 for me.
3 for late. But his is just a black screen with a spinny thing on it.
I think
For what? My stream?
For your stream? Yeah.
No, not for me.
Oh, I had to reload. Okay, there it goes.
Alright, well, we can worry about magic later. Let's get into other
Well, it's not like I
news.
can do anything right now anyways. That's why I'm looking, because
Oh, yeah.
last session I collapsed and passed out in my father's arms, so that's the last thing I knew that happened.
Yeah, last thing you remember is your father telling you to be strong and then blackness. So what y'all want to do? You can at least tell for now that things could probably go away by now.
What were we trying to do when we were here? We're trying to go to some places, right?
We were looking for the old man that was here, and then the mercenary group, the Talon something.
Yeah, there's like
They were-
two missions we were working on walking through here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first.
We had our
the-
primary go to the mountains thing, and then the secondary, hey, the Talons might be in this direction.
Yeah.
And it appears that they were, and working for the cult.
Same so.
And I got 2 of their souls, so if anybody has anything that they'd like to ask.
I can't.
Oh, Late found the other.
Yeah. I found the original. I like that one better than the one we used last time.
Yeah, the other one was kind of rough.
I know that there's someone out in like the Tailspire mini market that made like all of the slad colors based off of their D&D Beyond icons.
But yeah, as far as y'all can tell from now, at least the fight's over. Because you don't know who else might be here.
Should we? There's 2 options we can do here. We can try and wake Indonia up, or I can cast Tiny Hut and put it around her and let her sleep while we keep exploring.
Both are definitely options.
Yeah. I think we just wait for Indona to wake up.
I mean, we could do both. Maybe try to wake Antonia up, and if she doesn't wake up, then
We could I could do tiny hut and let's take a short rest.
Yeah.
the short rest would be very much a good idea.
Yeah. Auto did take
Yeah.
a lot of damage.
That would give my guardian time to heal and me a healing, so. And everyone else, of course.
So I will cast Lamons on Indonia. I'll give us 10 feet.
I'm right. It's transparent from me when you're inside it, but outside it just looks like a cabin, basically.
Yeah.
Anybody in to keep watch?
The guardian would have to stay outside because it will.
Oh yeah, the guardian can keep watch.
If it tries to come in, it will destroy the tiny hut.
Yeah, the guardian can keep watch. It doesn't need to sleep anyways, so.
Alright, while y'all are resting, do y'all want to roll a perception check for the guardian?
I can do that. I just gotta see what its stuff is, because like I said, the PC was updating, so I'm still booting. But I'm getting there. I've got Tailspire open.
Which I think is its wisdom? No, yeah.
I think so. Which it's not very wise. I can say that right now. Open, bang.
Okay, let's see here, and then
Well, while I get that open, let's see if anybody else wants to do anything.
I'm trying to see here. I'm going to use my arcane recovery for the day and get spell slots back up to level 5 with that.
I think you can usually use it up to level 5.
Yeah, combined total. It has to either a one level 5 spell or a combined.
Yeah.
You could do like 2 level 2s and a level 1.
I will do a level 5 spell with it and just burn the whole thing on one level 5.
Alright.
And then I have a few left. I'll use one of my sparingly last ones, arcane battery, that I have. And
I thought you still had quite a ton, or did you burn through all of them?
I have a few, but I'm using them very sparingly because I don't know when I'll be able to go back there.
Yeah.
I'll use 6 charges on it and get 2 level 3 spells back.
Alright.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Just remember to delete any ones that you've used all the charges for, because once they're all charges, they're destroyed.
Yeah, perception is wisdom, so that's just a flat d20 roll.
Alright.
And I smacked it right on the head and rolled a nat 1.
Nice.
Of course.
As far as your guardian's concerned, it's all good.
No, you know what would be the best way to flavor it is Phalar is still struggling to properly command it since it's still new. So he tells it to watch the point that they're at or something,
And
and
it's,
it's
it's
literally
just
watching wherever he was standing or wherever he pointed. So it's just staring at the ground because it takes its commands very literally. It's capable of reasoning, so it's capable of taking metaphor. But he literally told it watch that point and pointed.
During this short rest, I'm gonna expend 3 hit dice.
Alright. Cover any HP y'all need to.
18. Take rest.
Let me see what I need to recover. I'm at max, but I will still take the short rest. I forgot I kept getting healed. I will take the short rest though, because then that resets my abilities. I also need to... Assuming that that was an hour...
Yep. An hour.
So yeah, Shield... I think Shield Guardian would be back up and running then if it heals 10 at the end of each turn and a turn is 6 seconds.
Actually, I need it before we short rest. I need to kick Phalar and Otto out. Then they go find their own place to rest.
I mean, Faye would be fine just sitting back to back with his Guardian.
At least 300 feet from me, please.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that. As long as you're within 300 feet of Klaus, you're incapable of taking a short or a long rest.
Ah, right.
That's the kicker for his properties.
So please vacate the sphere and sleep outside like peasants.
So, real quick, Klaus. It was Soren Imperious Bloodlord Borderless from Secret Lair.
Okay.
Because I remember it was a black and white vampire, and that's the only black and white vampire that's a planeswalker.
Okay.
Alright, so everybody's out except Dunya, who's out cold.
Incapable of being out. Out in a different way.
Yeah.
I was snoring. That's what that noise was. I don't know if it went through or not.
So 300 feet from me would be...
Quite a long ways.
Yeah.
Off the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go all the way over there and sleep, please.
Go off the map and sleep, please.
Hopefully you don't believe in the flat earth theory, because, bye!
When we finish our short rest, I will try and rouse Adonia from her sleep.
How are you gonna try and wake her?
Shake her.
You shake
Do
her?
your thing, Klaus. Do your thing.
What? What is that?
I don't know.
You shake her? You still out?
Above table, late, can I tell them what would wake?
Sure.
So above table, so in party you guys wouldn't know this, there's only 3 things that could wake me. A wish, greater restoration, or I wake up.
If you just let her wake up, till taken, but she wouldn't wake up till probably the next day.
So what you're saying is I should cast Disintegrate.
See, that's what I'm saying. Do your thing.
I do have Wish I could cast. I ain't wasting
Oh. You're about to cast Wish here.
Yeah, I'm gonna wish for fucking Victor to be here so I can slap him.
What did I do?
Well, I guess.
Let's see, the question would be, what would Victor be doing after all this time?
Above table, I could just see it in the last session when Atmosphere showed up. He cast Wish to have Ali show up and just have him be like, "Oh bloody hell, not this shit again."
Yeah, it's like what I was saying, where we could like. That's what I was saying, where we could like we plane shift into the Shadowfell, find ourselves back in Evernight. Ollie is just, sitting there looking back through old stuff for nostalgia's sake, and then sees Atmosphere show up, then Klaus shows up, and he's just like, uh-oh, and then the rest of us show up, and we're just like, hi. He's like, why are you here? Cult stuff. Again?
God damn it!
It's like, what do you mean cult? We just dealt with the cult.
I mean, well, yeah, Otto still has gate.
Yes, he does. What are we doing? What are we using Gate for?
We were just kidding around about how it would be kind of funny to go back and see Ollie again and just be like, hey, more cult stuff.
They'd be like, what the hell are you guys?
And then Klaus walks in.
But yeah, above the table, it's more. And Dougie's out more like just out of pure exhaustion from the transformation.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I know a way that we can send her somewhere so that she's safe and we don't have to worry about trying to guard her for now.
Well, I mean, it's probably safer than staying around here.
Okay. Can I have the Death Slad plane shift her?
I think plane shifter where? Because I think the only place he knows how to plane shift is I think it's its home plane, which I think is.
I mean, it brought us to the Shadowfell last campaign, if it's the same slide.
I know the spell that says you and 8 willing creatures link hands and teleported to a different plane of existence. You can specify a target destination.
Okay, yeah, you can specify where.
Internal sector, city of blah.
You just wanted to take Indonia or all of you?
Just take Indonia.
Just Indonia to rest and recover.
Yeah, to her queen's plane of hell.
Above table. Oh man. I don't know how she's gonna react if you guys just go walking into her my home.
Well, we're not going. Only the Death Slide's taking you.
Pretty much the Death Slide's just gonna grab your shoulder and do the Harry Potter portkey thing. Just.
Or even the Slad has to wait a day before it can come back.
Yeah.
Is a Slad gonna be able above table? Is a Slad gonna be able to explain why he just suddenly shows up with me, or is it just gonna come out as like snarls and weird noises?
I'm gonna give him a note.
I think the Slad can communicate telepathically.
It can.
Yeah. I mean, it can talk to in the mind of your queen and tell her what's happening.
Let's see here. I'll command it to what to say to her when it gets there. I'm gonna message it to you.
All right.
I sent it to you.
Okay. Yeah, so the Slad kind of walks over, puts its claw on their shoulder, and then they both poof out, disappear. Uh,
Well, alright, fellas. Should we continue exploring?
I'll be right back. My food's here.
All right.
I'd say after you say that, Phalar is probably approaching from the rest and everything, and he's holding like a few small trinkets in his hands, and he looks over the rest of the party and he looks at you, Klaus, and he goes, "It appears that during the battle I tested my extraction, and it appears I still have my touch. These contain souls harvested fresh from the battle that we just committed."
Yes. Phalar. This isn't the best time to ask, but how many of those soul things can you make?
At current, I'm gonna do this in character. At current, I guess probably around 4 total, and I currently have 3. Though, I'd imagine as I continue to hone my craft that I once was perfected in, I can manage to pull more.
Okay. I need as many as possible. Souls. I need a way to collect souls. For trade.
Ah, yes, I'm very familiar with the idea of souls as currency. I have quite the history with it, really. Won't get into the details, but yes.
Alrighty.
Someone wants mine, but I'm willing to trade it.
As for current uses for them, I know that I am capable of releasing them at will if need be, and I believe, if I may try, I do have a curiosity that I have to sate.
Well, if you come across or figure out a way to make a jar to store a bunch of souls, let me know.
I will do. I have been experimenting with some arcane creation. So, wait, now that you're back,
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting until you got back to do this, because I figured it would probably be best if you were there for it. So now that Phalar has mentioned, like, hey, it looks like I can still do the soul thing. It's pretty much what he said while you were gone. So then, I'm gonna take the ring that the first of the Talon people that were here turned into.
Yeah, I don't remember who you grabbed it from.
It was one of the people that was up here by these trees.
Okay, so it was random. Okay. Alright, and what are you gonna do?
So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna kind of look it over, like slightly appraising it, and then he's gonna take it between his thumb and pointer, and he's going to squeeze down on it, and it's gonna break, so that the soul is released.
Alright.
And I'm curious because, you can flavor this however you'd like, because, DM's discretion and everything. I'm curious how his reaction is at the fact that he's still freshly just had his soul turned into a ring and he's now being released.
See, like that same kind of like like grayish mist kind of float into the air. Probably it kind of floats there about 5 or so feet from you. And you just
Taylor just kind of tilts his head a little bit. And I'm imagining I probably see quite the terrified expression on his face, because that's probably not a pleasant experience. Then as he's leaving, Phalar's just going to look the soul dead in the eye, and he's just going to say, "Are there more of your men inside?"
Maybe, and then it flies away. He said maybe.
Kind of raises an eyebrow, and then he sighs. He's like, I don't know what I was expecting out of a basic mercenary. Not much of a fight, but at least I know that I can still do that. And the fact that he didn't give me an outright no is problematic, because that means that there's a possibility that that's a yes. That being said, and then he's going to kind of look over. If I remember correctly, Ronan turned into like a necklace, so he kind of looks over it and he's like, I think I'll keep hanging on to this one for now. It was, that devilish looking fellow that was leading the wyvern. Speaking of, does anybody want to partake in potentially harvesting that creature? I'd imagine its scales could fetch quite the price.
The wyvern?
Yeah, the wyvern.
Yeah.
I will. Can I?
There's also loot from Ronan too. Which
Yeah.
True.
I only took his soul, I didn't take his body.
All I would like from the wyvern is its stinger and its poison glands. And then I would like Ronan's body.
You want a lot of things.
I don't want his items. I just want his body and some poison glands.
So you can take whatever Ronan has on him, he's just taking the body itself. I do have to declare this. Short rest, I used my Whispers of the Dead to have proficiency in Sleight of Hand.
okay.
Because I'm supposed to tell you what I used that for, because, you know, it's swapping your proficiency at will for short or long rest.
Okay.
I did that because he was thinking about taking the Wyvern's eye.
If you want to for simplicity, just customize it and add the proficiency if you don't already have the bonus.
Oh yeah, Whispers of the Dead lets you choose it in the manage character thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like how you can, choose feat levels and stuff. You can just go into the manage level thing and select a proficiency, and it's any skill or tool. I can just select once per short or long rest.
Oh, nice.
It's like what Jerry could do, except instead of it being his god telling him, it's the dead. It's like Phalar's just sitting there, and suddenly some spirit comes in and is like, "This is how you use a hammer."
To cut the poison glands out and the stinger tip, would that be a medicine check or
Survival.
survival? Okay.
Also,
Just
correction,
see
I
if you
believe
can
I already
do
have sleight of
that-
hand.
Do without both getting it correctly and without actually accidentally poisoning yourself.
Yep, I already have sleight of hand, so never mind. Let's stay on acrobatics.
Okay. I rolled a 20 on my survival check.
I'll say it's enough for 4 vials of wyvern toxin.
Ooh, potent stuff. The stuff that they give you at the beginning of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
Very lethal one.
Wyvern poison.
Mhm.
You said how many? 4?
Yep. Might be. I don't know if it's already an item in D&D Beyond.
It might be, yeah.
It is. I'll grab one that you're looking through the rest of the wyvern and dice items.
So, you kind of already know what Phalar's gonna try to take off the wyvern. Or wyvern.
Yep.
And like I said, apparently I already have sleight of hand because I'm a rogue and I was just a little bit slow and forgot that. So my Whispers is staying on acrobatics.
Okay.
I forgot that I already had that.
Yeah, so go ahead and make another survival check. See if you can get an eye.
What would that be?
Intact.
Survival or sleight of hand, actually?
Survival.
That's a good question. Okay. Ba. Better question is whether I'm gonna be able to yoink it without damaging it.
Depends on your roll.
It's a 16. I think I got like a 9 when I did the Chimera.
Yeah, I'll say with a 16, yeah, I'll say you managed to get it intact.
So he'll sever the optical nerve at the back of it. Takes it, kind of looks it over, puts it into that cloth that he had the Chimera eye into so that it isn't wet. And he's gonna tuck it into a secure spot in his bag.
Yeah, I mean, this is a much bigger wyvern, so it's
Yeah.
the eye's about the size of a basketball.
Yeah. He's wrapping it in the cloth so that it's not getting everything else in his bag wet.
Yeah.
Kind of like a cheesecloth kind of thing. Might kind of curious what everybody else wants.
I'll say for...
And somebody should probably yoink the scales.
Yeah, does anybody want scales for it? Or wants Ronan's stuff?
Yeah, we should see what Ronan had on him as well.
Yeah, what does he have?
Roll investigation, if you want to look.
We're just gonna be looking through a pile of stuff since Klaus already claimed the body, so he probably just stripped Ronan of his gear and then took the body.
Yeah, it's all just equipment on the ground. Roll a 31.
Wait, what'd you roll? A natural one?
21.
Oh, 21.
I hope not. I hope not.
Looks at piles of gear. Huh, looks like some stuff.
There's his short sword and dagger. In a small pouch, there's a greater healing potion.
Okay, greater healing potion.
And let's see how much all he has. $21 gold pieces.
Okay, is that it?
He has studded leather armor, and really about it.
You gotta remember though, some of that might be enchanted. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he was calling a dragon. There's a good chance he's got good gear.
Good point. I would have thought he was
considering how hard he was hitting you.
Oh yeah, that too. He was dealing necrotic damage to me. So one of his weapons is enchanted.
What was the last thing that you mentioned?
Studded leather armor.
Oh, studded leather armor.
But I mean, you'd have to take a closer look to see if it's enchanted or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have identify or anything.
I think you can also, I don't know if it's a 5.5 or 5e thing. I think there's some kind of rule where you can like spend a short rest inspecting and identifying it if you don't have the spell with successful checks and stuff.
I see.
So, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but for identify, I don't have it either.
None of us do.
No, I was trying to make it sound like I was trying to make it sound all special. Like I don't want to toot my own horn, but I don't have it either.
I thought you were gonna be like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I already know what the items are.
Kind of shifting over down. low to hell. Your eyes start to flutter as you now see this kind of large, kind of blackish creature. Its head kind of cocked to one side, kind of looking at you with curiosity, as it's just standing there, kind of poking you with its claw over and over again.
Well, based on that description and being drowsy and waking up after passing out from exhaustion, claws and a black creature, so still being groggy and drowsy, she's gonna reach up and just kind of be like, "Father?" Because werewolf.
Yeah. You just hear in your head, "Whose father?"
Well, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be his voice.
It definitely doesn't sound like atmosphere. It sounds kind of like very gravelly and it doesn't it sounds very less humanoid.
Sounds like God, what's his name from Adam's Family? Or Adam's Family.
Yeah, I just don't actually do the voice. I don't ruin my
You
voice.
rang.
Lurch.
Lurch, yeah.
Alright, so upon hearing that, she's gonna kind of, I'm assuming she's laying on her back if she was dragged there or whatever.
Yeah.
So you kind of push herself up with her arms, but then kick her feet and move her arms, so that way she would go backwards until she kind of tries to figure out where she's at.
It's like you almost immediately feel that same warmness, and you just see like an endless expanse of obsidian fire, and you see probably close to a dozen or so demons running around in every direction. Screams in the background, and you see probably good like maybe 40, 50 feet away. You see your queen kind of sitting there on a throne, kind of reading a book, looking kind of bored.
So kind of gonna grab her head, like, she got a headache because of what happened.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, "Oh, my head." And then when she sees, her sitting on the throne, she's gonna kind of groggily look up while holding her head and be like, "Mother, what happened?"
Laying down the job again, he says with a laugh.
Last I knew, we're in a big battle, and then Dad showed up, and then I'm here.
Hmm. You kind of, are you walking closer or are you shouting at each other from 50 yards away?
Oh, I thought you said 50 feet.
Yeah, are you shouting at her from 50 feet away or are you walking closer to her?
Kind of bumbling around because still, head hurt, trying to figure out what happened, gathering what in the hell is going on.
Probably you get up, the slag kind of just wanders off, looking bored, kind of finding something else to do.
I think, she's gonna say as she's getting closer. Like I remember in the fight, there's a dragon or a wyvern was being commanded. So we went after the commander, and it looked like he was trying to just outright murder one of the friends in the party, and then I blacked out, and then Dad showed up, and then I blacked out again, and now I'm here.
She kind of closes the book with a kind of a snap, and then kind of looks over at you, and kind of eventually stands up from her throne, kind of looking down at you. Leans over, kind of putting like a finger into your chin, kind of pushing your head up to as you look kind of eye to eye. Yes, my power runs within you. It seems, either under great stress or great anger, my power seems to take over. Interesting.
And when she stops, Donnie will be like, "Man, when Dad showed up, something about learning to control myself and my anger, the rage within, and then I was here."
Seems your anger is the fuel that causes this change. I think your father speaking some truths.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
And then you said kill Klaus? No, I'm kidding.
AK the Queen. What I miss?
We're having a little moment down in hell of Antonia talking to her queen.
Plotting to kill Klaus. That is what
No.
we're doing.
Okay, but could you imagine if, like, Klaus was AFK and Otto wasn't paying attention, so then, like, all that Otto hears is kill Klaus and then assumes that that's actually what's happening?
And
Oh god, the greatest miscommunication in the entire history of D&D.
I mean, Otto commits to it.
and so when Donnie will do is she'll continue looking up, because I'm assuming she's still holding by the chin,
Yeah.
and she's gonna put her arm down, and she'll look at her and say, if Mother says it's all right, I would like to take a seat at her right side while I try to gather myself and regain myself, so I can return to my journey to find the chalice for you.
She nods, kind of drawing her hand, kind of gives you a little pat on the head, and sits back down and opens her book up.
And is there already a spot for me to sit on her right side?
Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure because I didn't know if she had to go like poof and there's like a infernal, mini throne or something for me to sit down on, or if it was already there.
Like there's it's a chair kind of similar to hers, but it's not.
I'm assuming like 1/3 the size.
Yeah.
Like suitable to show people that this is where my daughter/champion sits, but she doesn't have quite the power I got.
Yeah, because if she's at her full height, she's probably 15, 20 feet tall. When she would show off her full power.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think what I was reading is that she is 13.3 foot tall normally, and then 25.2 foot at full.
Yeah.
So I guess they split the diff, and that's why I'm 10 foot when I change.
Yeah. Because I think your body literally wouldn't probably be able to handle her full power.
Well, I was thinking splitting the diff between Dad and her, because Dad
Oh,
was 12 foot, she's 13 foot. I go from 6 to 10, so.
yeah. Alright, we'll say as you sit there, kind of contemplate what you want to do next, and we'll poop back over up here. So, what are the rest of y'all doing?
I was gonna say real quick. What I wanted to do is, if you think that it's a thing that I can do, was have. I was gonna have Indonia roll something before you left her there to go back to them to see if she can muster or try to figure out, is there a way she can control this?
Uh,
Or like for example, if you said roll a percentile, and if I'm 51 and higher, she has a chance of learning a way to
what, do
perfect
that?
it.
Yeah.
And then 50 or lower, she still misses, and it's still uncontrollable right now.
Yeah, sounds good. So roll you 100.
All right, let's see. 800 just to you or everybody?
Just to me. Yeah, nope.
Wow. Above table, I rolled 2%. So my
You have
crappy
zero
rolls.
control over this.
Woo! All right, so I'll go mute and let you guys do your thing. Actually, while you're doing the stuff above, on surface level, I'm gonna go take my meds real quick.
Alright. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, everyone has frozen silent.
everybody talk at once.
What?
So I got the 4 vials of poison. Did I get its stinger off at all, or just the poison?
Just the poison.
Okay. And Otto, did you want to search Rowan's body before I took it?
I think we played.
Ronan got searched.
Yeah, I think we played like
No.
you just dumped all his gear on the ground and grabbed his body.
Yeah, we flavored it as because you claimed his body before we searched it. You just stripped him of all of his stuff and put it on the floor and took the body.
Okay,
Yup.
sounds good.
Oh yeah, wyvern poison is a thing.
Yeah. I would be surprised if it isn't, given the fact that it's used in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
And that tends to base off of, actual 5e items.
yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
I mean
it's
that.
potent stuff. That's why the woman gives it to you at the beginning of Baldur's Gate to drink if you don't find a cure.
I mean, yeah, it's the same damage. Poison stinger normally does, minus the piercing.
24 plus the 7d6s. Dang. At least you take only half as much if you.
I think 24 is the average damage.
Okay. Well, should we continue exploring?
Yeah.
I don't see a
Indonia's still
reason why
now-
not.
Indonia's still not woken up yet, right?
Oh yes, that as well. The Slad took Donya off. Should we wait? No, because the Slad has to wait time before it can do that again, does it not?
Yes, you will not be back until tomorrow.
Okay.
Alright.
So I guess we'll be on our own for now then.
I should note that that soul did not give me a direct yes or no as to if there is more of the mercenaries inside, though I would expect the answer is a yes because it did not give me a no.
I'll say based on its tone, it was more like a the tone you heard from it was more like a kind of like fu kind of maybe.
Yeah, so it was probably very mad, but also kind of scared, so it didn't want to just, like, curse me out as an answer, so it just gave me a smart-ass maybe before it left.
Yep, basically.
Because you gotta imagine, the common mercenary is going to have quite the experience when he gets his soul ripped from his body and turned into a ring.
Yeah.
So he was probably a bit dazed and was just like, I don't have the energy to muster up the screw you to him, so I'm just gonna say maybe.
I'll have my skeleton walk in front of me,
Alright,
and
I
I'll
just
walk
got my spell slots back and
behind him.
got some HP back.
You do say, plus as you're passing that opening, you do see there's a figure inside there. You see it's a human male figure shackled by his wrist, completely suspended in the air, head slung down between his shoulders.
I'll walk up to him
In
and say,
here?
Yep.
"You there?"
No response. Based on looking him over, looks like you see signs of torture.
Can I roll? I want to search this door before I open it and make sure there's no arcane glyphs that are going to blow up in my face when I try to open it.
Make a investigation.
Investigation. 19.
You don't see anything magical, but you do see there's like a heavy kind of bar at the top that seems to be like securing it closed.
Let's see here.
You need a hand? Or are you good?
I think I'm good. I'm trying to figure this out. Let's see.
While he is doing that,
Huh?
I'm going to summon a familiar.
Okay. What's your familiar look like?
Let's.
With 5.5, they've expanded the familiar possibilities.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same form every time, right? Or does it?
No, it can change. I think it stays that form once you summon it, once you cast Find Familiar, it stays that form till you recast Find Familiar.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to make my familiar a rat, and then I'll ask my familiar to go in that way.
Here, I'll just.
While he's doing that, I'll back away from the door and tell my skeletons to go up there, all 4 of them, and have them start swinging their swords to chop that down.
About the table, Klaus, someone's in your chat.
I was about to say, "Hey, Grimbeard, how's it going? You having a good night?"
Alright, you should be able to control your familiar.
Oh, they're
Hey.
fellow D&D people.
Yeah. I posted in the Telspire subreddit.
Ah. Just make more work for your mod.
No.
Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah. I'll have to up your pay.
Ooh.
Wait, can I control? Oh, I can control it now. Cool.
No, see, you up the pay by making it go from not being paid to $0.
Well, I'll pay him from thanks to high five.
You're gonna make it squeeze through the door?
Yo. And then I will also like to activate the telepathic connection.
Are you gonna try and see through your familiar's eyes?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check with using your familiar stats. Using your rat's
Okay.
stats.
Well, I gotta go find it.
While he's doing that, can I have the skeletons start swinging at the door with their swords to break it down?
Sure. Like this is a pretty heavily enforced door, so it's gonna take him a while.
That's fine. I'll just have them.
Whack, whack,
As
whack,
the-
whack.
Is the door made of wood?
Wood and kind of reinforced with iron.
Thanks for the follow, Grimbeard. Before they start chopping, I will pull them back. Let's see. What do I have? Spells, inventory. Let's see. I will.
Alright. Perception. Oh, it's perception +2. Sweet.
This is roll D20 and that too.
Yeah.
Can I cast
do that real
Firebolt
quick.
at the door? Try and burn some of that wood.
Yeah. Burn some of the wood away.
Would make it, make it
Ow.
weaker. If they go in there and start chopping, so I'll make an attack roll.
Oh, 12.
It's a 12.
15 to hit the wood door or the wooden gate.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. You want me to roll damage?
Yeah.
It does have dark vision.
17.
You see, like, some of the slats kind of burn away. There's now probably like a 2-foot hole in like the top left part of it.
Yeah, I'll then send my skeletons over there and have them start chopping at it.
With a 12, you see that kind of crammed in a small space. It looks like to be some kind of armory.
Oh.
You see like see like 2 barrels that are just like stuffed with like a bunch of swords and stuff. You see looks like some other crates. They're pushed aside. You see like good, 2 or 3 like like dozen or so ears are kind of like tied together with twine.
Okay.
And
Are there any sign of people in here?
in the area your rat is, no.
Okay. Does this area lead to anywhere? Like, is there like an exit on the other side?
No, it's just a small little room.
Okay. All right.
That was a 14 to hit from the skeletons.
Yeah, the hits.
And 4 damage.
Whack.
Does it look like I could... Can I try and... With the skeletons, is it damage enough for us to try and push the gate up? Like muscle it up?
Yeah, you have a strength check. If you want to try to.
Alright.
You can either use do a strength or an athletics. Your choice.
What should I do, chat? Strength or athletic? Acrobatic. Up to... Athletics or strength check?
I've got proficiency in athletics. I could probably call you help if you did athletics.
Yeah, I guess we'll do athletics. See how we do.
So I'd say Phalar probably sees you come around the corner. He turns and looks, sees you getting ready to lift the gate, and he's just gonna kind of be like, you know, it probably goes without saying, but with something of that weight, you should probably try your best instead of with your back, lift by lowering yourself to the ground and use your legs.
Will do.
Alright, so roll at advantage.
Alright, before I roll, Klaus will set his staff and spellbook down and hype himself up, getting ready to pick up this big heavy door.
Stretch, do a bunch of stretching.
Yeah.
Given the fact that you're hyping up, do you wanna put it on physics by rolling in Tailspire?
I'll have the skeletons pat me on the shoulder, hyping me up.
You can do this.
Jumping up and down.
Above,
Getting ready.
above table, I just see the picture of the skeletons, kind of like the genie in Aladdin, where they're waving a little flag, and it's like, Klaus, he's our man. If he can't do it, great.
Alright, let's see. Athletics at advantage. 18.
Yep, easily. Be able to open it up.
Throw it open.
You manage to force it up and get there. It's kind of like right there, probably 2 feet in, is that human male figure kind of suspended by his wrists. Like he's been heavily tortured.
Can I have the skeletons lower him to the ground, and then I want to check him over and see if he's still alive or not.
Make a medicine.
Medicine? Alright. Oh. 8.
I mean, you're more in tune with the dead than anything living, so it's like hard to tell.
I mean, if he's dead, I'll just be a late healer and bring him back as a skeleton.
I mean, but at the moment you don't know. One thing you can tell is he looks pretty. Whoever this is has been through hell.
Can I? Let me see if I have. Can I take my water skin and dump it on his face and see if that wakes him up?
No. No response. I'll say kind of given by his response, massive amount of cuts, and wounds. Most likely this figure's probably been dead at least a couple hours.
Oh.
Couple hours, okay.
Also, because I rolled his death saves, I rolled a natural 1, which is 2 failures, and a 9.
Oh.
So he's very
This
dead.
guy's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get dead, okay. Oh, I don't have it equipped right now. Dang it. Oh well.
What do you have, Speak of the Dead?
No, I have brain eat. I can eat his brain and see his last memories.
I think with 2024 you can swap out. I think they added you can swap out some spells on a short rest. I'd have to look it up. On.
I don't even remember what it's called. I thought it was a 3rd or 4th level spell. That's add spells. Spell book. 3rd,
Yeah,
Mind.
yeah, it's called Memorize Spells. When you finish a short rest, you can study your spell book and place one of the level one of the level spells in your book you prepared. So if you so you can swap a level for a level on a short rest.
Okay, a level 4 level.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, my bad. It's 1 plus the spell level with another 1 plus the spell level. However you want to divide that up.
So 1 plus the spell level.
With another 1 plus the spell level.
So that'd be what, 4 in total? And you can divide that any way you want?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 total. Yeah, so I guess would retroactive say that I did that during the
Yeah.
okay, prepared spells.
But yeah, you can do that every short rest.
Okay, I'll get rid of Blight right now and change it for Consume Mind.
So how does it look as we see Klaus go full mind flare on this thing?
I will walk over to him, pull out my dagger, and pop the top of his skull off. Pull out the brain, like stab
Just
my
pry
hand
it open like a can of pickles.
yeah, pry it open, and put my
Right,
dagger
you
in
need
the
to
brain.
make sure that you do it right, and you get some fava beans.
I will skewer it with the dagger and then eat it
It's smells a little bit because of he's been dead for a little bit, but kind of mushy. Like it's like almost eating like raw pork. So it's kind of mushy and slimy at the same time. But you feel your vision almost immediately.
Well,
Huh?
I gotta make a spell DC save on the corpse's intelligence score to see if I recall anything.
Okay. So is it against your own spell DC?
No, the corpse's intelligence. The DC, to recall any piece of information, you must make an ability check using your spellcasting modifier. The DC is equal to the corpse's intelligence score.
Okay.
Phalar is probably somewhere in the entryway to the place, and he'd probably spot Klaus doing it, but given his background, he's just like, oh, okay.
Watch me chow down on some brains.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen some pretty messed up stuff, so he's just like, yeah, this is, this is happening.
Like, yeah, sure, why not?
He's like, honestly, I'm not. There's probably some part of Phalar's brain right now that's like, I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner.
Alright, so is intelligence a modifier?
Make an ability check using your spellcasting modifier. The DC is equal to the corpse's intelligence score.
Okay. Alright, so it didn't say what ability check in particular.
No, it just said spell modifier.
Okay, so I'll say, so make a...
My modifier's +6 for my spell modifier.
Make a history check then.
History. If I can find it. Oh, there we go.
Feel your vision almost immediately. It's almost like pulling back away from you. As you blink, you see now the cell door is closed. You feel just a sense of exhaustion, pain, as you feel yourself almost up from that same suspension from your wrist, as you see that same tiefling figure, as you hear him say, "I knew you have been searching for the chalice. Tell us everything you know." And then you hear yourself saying, "I'm just trying to understand what it's being used for." Not good enough. And you feel something sharp in your right side as you feel pain kind of overwhelm you before you immediately blink back.
Interesting.
I'll say based on that you understand that this is probably the guy you were originally looking for.
Yeah, the husband.
Yep.
Alright. I'll have to come back out.
Do you drop into the void?
I think so. I didn't realize there was something over that wall. Oh no, I'm in the wall. I got myself.
Well, I can just put you back out if you're stuck. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I TP'd.
Okay.
I'd come back out and tell Phalar that was the husband we were looking for.
Well, that's a rather grim turn of events, isn't it? Though, it is interesting to see them here. It's almost as if there's some kind of convergence happening within the world. We keep finding the cultists in the oddest of places, and we keep finding people unrelated to them in the oddest of places. It's as if everything is kind of clashing and meeting together wherever they are. When you think about it, I mean, the first place that we saw the cult was on a farmstead not far from the festival where there was dozens of people. Then that Mateo fellow in the temple out in the Deadlands, and now this.
Yeah.
Innocent people keep getting caught up in this business. All the more reason to take them down, I suppose.
Are you still seeing through your rat, or have you pulled back?
I've pulled. Otto has pulled back.
Yeah, from where you're standing, you see a shadow move on the hill above you. You see something is moving.
Can I look up and try to focus to see if I see anything?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Let's go. 18.
You see like a glinting of light, like sun almost reflecting off a mirror off something metal, and you're able to tell this is a smaller figure, maybe about dwarf size.
I start yelling at our party and say, "Someone's up the hill. We need to be careful." Did they hear me?
Alright.
Yeah, y'all heard that.
Yeah.
Let's start making our way out. I'd come up and ask Otto what he's talking about.
I saw like a small figure up the hill.
We're at.
Can you tell me where the person that I saw was at?
You saw it like briefly like here
Yeah.
moving this way. You saw like a silhouette move, and then disappeared out of your sight.
Okay.
You only saw it around here, and then move away, disappeared.
All right.
Can I scan the area and see if I see anything with my true sight?
You're not picking up anyone invisible, but you do see is that same shadow kind of moving, kind of like crouched down and moving just very carefully, kind of like not toward y'all, but away. Looks like he's moving toward away down the path away from y'all.
Where would you say he is right now, or that figure is?
Like
Me?
you only saw where Otto pointed, which is around here-ish, and then he saw it move away.
You first said that there was a glint up on the cliff. Shooter games have taught me, and I was gonna be like, sniper scope.
Otto needs to get an item for that, like a magnifying glass or like a sniper scope. Yeah.
Just get like a face-worn magnifying monocle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the thing that like inventors in steampunk fantasy have.
Yeah. Also one that has like laser pointer.
I mean, you could probably pull that off in D&D, just a little bit of illusory magic.
Or all you need is a laser pointer and a Khajiit.
Let's see. Is there a way to get up there? Oh, to the stairs to our left. I think we can.
Yeah.
Can I sprint with my skeletons and chase after it? Or last known location.
So you can just have them charge all the way up to where it was last, so over here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow behind them.
Okay.
I'll stay about that far back.
As you so I'll say you're the first one to see this figure. You see it's a dwarven figure, kind of long, kind of blackish hair at least, plate armor, kind of a shield in one hand, a warhammer in another, just kind of very close, carefully, very, very slowly toward that house.
Very slowly.
Yeah, like he's trying to stealth.
Come up beside him. Just, hey, buddy, what's going on?
I was thinking about casting fireball on him. But
That's not much different in terms of breaking his cover.
hesitant because that description I just got from seeing it reminds me of someone. Or no. Think.
You do still have that sitting stone he gave you, like long ago.
I'll use that and ask Father Valak where he is right now.
You see that figure immediately stop as it starts moving. You hear him say, "Shit! Really? Now? God damn it!" See him start like probably looking around now. Now it's like kind of like sits his shield and warhammer down, starts fiddling through his pack. Oh shit!
He's probably not expecting to get a message from a dead guy.
What do you say?
Where are you right now, Father Valak?
He eventually kind of finds the stone and says, "I'm tracking someone. It's kind of a bad
The question
time."
is, did all of that panicking count as part of his words?
Really, it's not a good time. Kind of like Hurley kind of like stuffs it back into his bag. And because of that, I'm gonna make a... Still not knowing you're there. Another stealth check at disadvantage.
Oh no, what have you done?
What did I do? I took my headphones off to fix my hair.
Well, you
The man now has to make another stealth check at disadvantage.
Which he would normally because he's wearing plate armor. Oh no.
He failed. Got a nat 1.
No, he got a 6.
Oh.
So you see him like as he's like trying to hurriedly put it away, grabs it, he just like almost like he steps forward, almost didn't seeing like this small boulder there, and just basically face plants. Ah, shit! Ah! Ah!
Hear all the metal clanging.
Yep. And you hear him kind of like, you see him kind of stop moving and stop speaking as he's like listening intently for something.
Can I try and sneak up on him?
And he's like right here. See, right now he's prone.
I would like to.
But I'll say roll stealth check. I'll say at advantage because he's facing away from you and prone. Kind of distracted at the moment, having tripped.
21.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll get. I'm trying to get. Let's see. I'm trying to get as close as I can without him seeing me, so I can tap him on the shoulder. Do I need to make another stealth check here?
Yeah. Roll it normally though, no advantage.
Alright. 19.
Yeah, you're still good.
How close would that get me?
That'll probably get you. I'll say, yeah, probably right here.
Alright. I just want to keep sneaking like right up on him so he can feel my breath on his neck.
Alright, we'll say make one more to finally get the last little bit.
Alright. Oh no! It's a 3. As in 1 plus my spell one.
You see it's like as you're trying to sneak up, you kick a small rock. You see him almost turn instinctively, swing his shield wide. It doesn't hurt, but you feel like the slam of the shield your side hurts a little bit. As he kind of like turns around now on his back, Warhammer now kind of in a defensive stance. What the fuck are you doing here?
I could ask the same thing.
As he says that, he's still kind of like looking at you, kind of looking over at that house, and stands back up. I'm tracking them again. Things gone active. As he like points to the house.
I know, we just killed quite a few of them. Down below, we fought like 15 of them, plus a wyvern.
Yeah, I heard. Quite a commotion.
I think we took everybody out that was here.
Well, I was gonna go clear this as he kind of points again to the house. And then move a little bit closer.
Let's see. Can I? Okay, there's not. I want to send the skeletons ahead. I'll tell Father Valek to hold on.
Alright.
I'll send the skeletons. I want to send the skeletons down there.
There's a front door and a side door.
Okay, I want to send half. There's 4 of them. I'll have the skeletons get down there. I want 2 on each door. Is there any big rocks or anything?
Just
Hang
like,
around?
yeah, like a few, like half boulders.
And how heavy would that be?
Probably a good.
Could it be at would it be too heavy for 2 skeletons each to carry it?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
be closer to like probably 70, 80 pounds.
Ooh. Can I have the skeletons try and wedge their swords in the doors so they don't open?
Like stick it through the handle.
Yeah, stick it to the handle and then into the door frame.
Yeah.
Alright, I want the skeletons to do that, all 4 of them. So 2 on each door.
All right.
And I'll tell them to back up from the door. And then I want to cast Fireball on the house on the roof instead of set the house on fire.
Oh, okay.
And I'll do it at 3rd level. So I don't need it too powerful.
Immediately starts bursting into flames. And he goes, well, I was gonna interrogate them, but okay then.
We can see if anybody's inside. We can catch them when they're trying to come out. We should move down to the doors and see.
I'll have him move over here.
I'll move down to the front door here.
Hello. You hear definitely lots of banging on the door as if they're trying to pushing and slamming into the door like they're trying to. Let's see. Bad. Wow. Yep, they still can't get through. The other door. You hear like cracking of wood from the other door. Try the front door again.
I want to
Above.
yell. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, above table, as you said, you hear cracking from the other door. Tex's bedroom door, when he opens it, it goes eee, and it happened
yeah.
right after you said that.
Yeah, it's because someone was coming into the room, so right after you said that there was cracking at the door, the noise came through my mic.
Here's kind of running out here. No, I think he was holding a action. Yeah, it's gonna hit with a 24. You just hear a loud like a cracking noise, but it sounds almost the sound of like something hitting bone. You know what? He'll put. Yeah, I'll put a first level divine smite to it. Why not?
Now, what are Otto and Phalar doing? Did they follow up, or are they just sitting down there?
I would say we follow. I followed you.
Taylor probably would have been keeping, a watch around, been looking back inside of that little room every so often where the guy was dead at, just thinking about how odd it is that all these people keep getting caught up in this. And then he probably would have been like, I should probably catch up with them, and then gone up.
Okay.
Hey, Otto, why don't you have any eyes? I'm zoomed in on your mini, and it's just flesh-colored eye sockets.
He's a very special warlock.
Yeah. I would ask the creator. Just kidding.
I mean, I just grabbed it from the community library.
Oh, yes, just...
I have eyes. I'm just covering it up.
Flesh?
Yep.
Are we up the hill now?
No, see, when you said ask the creator, all I could think of was, oh yes, just go ahead and ask Yogg Sothoth why you don't have eyes.
Yeah, and then eventually the other door opens and two more come out. But it's like they don't. It's like they don't even try to attack you. They immediately like turn and run.
Can I sprint and try and tackle one?
Yeah. So I'll say make an athletics test because they're dashing and you're dashing, so
Athletics.
60 and 60. So
20.
um, there it is. Yeah, you managed to grab one. So I'll say right now you haven't grappled. So I'll say you have the one in the back grappled. This one is still running.
I will yell at the skeletons to get their bows ready and to fire during the commotion.
And Nods is going to continue attacking this guy. Yeah, that hits. Yeah, that definitely hits. 18 damage, 17 damage. Yeah, this guy's out like light.
Let's see.
And then this guy will keep running.
I want to stab the one I have with my dagger.
Okay.
And the dagger I have equipped is... I can't remember what it does.
7,000 guaranteed damage.
Weapon of certain death dagger, so it can't gain hit points at the start of the next turn.
Alright, roll the hit.
Alright.
I'll say at advantage since you have it grappled.
Alright. Advantage. 26.
Yep, that hits.
Should probably just, sorry to interject, but we should probably just note for anybody that is currently watching in either late or Bam's stream right now that is new, you missed a hell of a fight last session, so we're probably not going to have anything too super eventful going on this session.
Yeah. We also do explode and die, so if you roll max hit on your die.
Yeah, if you roll a die and it rolls max, you roll another die for each die that you roll that's max, and it'll keep going until you stop rolling max.
Not to mention, the party had to fight a party member.
Yeah. Yeah, last session was quite the eventful one, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying that in case, there's anybody that's new in either of your streams that's watching it and is like, man, there's not a lot going on. That's why, it's because we just got out of a massive fight.
I will.
Yeah, this is more or less picking up the pieces.
I'll roll damage.
Cleanup time.
Yep.
7 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And then, are the skeletons able to take aim at the guy running away and shoot their arrows?
Probably. What's the range on their bow?
80 and then 320.
Yeah, so anything beyond 80, yeah, so he would have kept going. He would. Now at this point, they're probably both like here-ish.
Oh, there's another one that came out of the other door where Father Valak was.
Yeah,
Okay.
he knocked out one.
Okay. Thanks for the follow, DZ Linux.
Yeah, so both attacks will be at disadvantage.
Alright.
They're both beyond 80 feet. I'll say you'd probably be able to get one, maybe 2 attacks before they'll eventually be at the rate they're going. They'll be out of range pretty quickly.
So, let's see here. How do we do disadvantage on in Tailspire itself?
Just roll twice and take the lower of the 2.
So that's the first one. 16. And the next one. 6.
Yeah, that misses. You just watch him kind of run off into the woods and eventually disappear.
Is this one still struggling that I have grappled?
Yeah, I mean he still has a lot of HP, so. I'll say Bal's kind of knocked out this one. He'll walk over and start attacking, doing non-lethal damage. Advantage since got grappled. 26 to hit, and 32 to hit. 13 damage and 15. I'll just save time, but eventually as Val just smashing into him and you're stabbing, he eventually.
I was gonna have the skeletons come over and start punching them with their fists too.
Yeah, we'll say with all 3, you both are knocked out. And Valix will. Yeah, so what we'll say is, both you two, as the rest kind of come up the hill, you see Klaus is working with a strange plate-wearing dwarf that you've never seen before.
Oh. Did you caught the guy?
Yeah, we caught these 2 men trying to escape.
Well, should we then just figure out who they are?
Yes, we should.
Or have you already figured it out?
No, they're knocked out right now.
Oh.
And
Alatia probably comes around the corner before Phalar, and then Phalar rounds.
Father Vela kind of reaches under his armor, kind of pulls out his holy symbol, kind of closes his eyes, mutters something under his breath as he casts Song of Truth.
Okay, he casts his own as truth.
Infoot sphere. Yeah, so Klaus, you'd have to make a charisma save.
Alright.
It'd be 19.
Charisma save. Nat 20. That's a 23.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Roll for these guys. Failure. Failure.
Can I pretend I felt it in case anybody wants to try to ask me questions?
I mean, the rest of you just see Father Barrick hold some kind of idol, some kind of necklace, some kind of amulet, mutter something. You see this waft of energy kind of radiate from him.
Ah.
You know, looks. Father Barrick kind of looks down at these two, then looks over you class saying, "So you're gonna introduce me to your new friends?"
Yes, this is Phalar and Otto. There's a few others, but they are preoccupied at the moment.
Kind of looks to you, to you, kind of nods. I'm Father Valor.
Phalar gives like a half bow.
An old friend of class.
Father
Back in the
Valakir
day.
Father Valakir has fought and defeated Vecna twice in his life.
That is rather impressive, I must say. I've seen some of the power that he was capable of. I think we
Yeah.
all seen part of it during the age when those adventures set out for him, but regardless.
That
Above,
stubborn son of a bitch, he'll be back.
so above table, with the ring connection and bond that I have with Klaus, does that mean I would know where he is back where
Yeah,
I passed out at?
yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna choose this moment to appear in a fiery fucking spew from underneath the ground next to him.
Yeah, you see this, like, I'll say it's probably more like a hell portal. You'll see flames rise from the ground as a portal made completely of fire opens up behind you. And you see Indonia step through. And find your mini. Got made invisible.
Yep, I right in here is where it's saying.
Yeah, there you are. So, yoink. You see probably more like right here.
Yeah, because the connection is with Klaus, with
Yeah.
the bond, so it'd be, I guess, right behind him, but in front of everybody else.
Yep.
Phalar probably kind of startles back a little bit as you come ripping out of the hell portal.
You see, if I would say Klaus, you immediately see Father Bailick's eyes go wide, and he like almost instinctively like pulls his hammer back.
As he pulls it back, probably just hears Phalar with like the arms down. It's just like, oh yes, Indonia, welcome back.
You look around, and I appear to have missed some fun.
Oh, you're back.
I wonder how Valak responds to the just casual, hey, welcome back.
He's still like shield up, hammer back, like his eyes still wide, like he very much has a WTF kind of look on his face, like.
Now, if I need to, I can roll like history or insight or something. But would I recognize him based on my real mother's stories of my father's adventures?
Yeah, make it a history.
Would she also have
23.
to, would she also have to make a charisma saving throw for being in the zone?
No, Indonia's just outside it.
Okay.
So I got 23 to recognize him.
You recognize the one, he is not only a... You're standing in front of a legend who not only defeated Vecna on his own, but also defeated him again with your father.
So I'm gonna, after I recognize who he is, I know he has no who idea, or who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, kind of give him a, kind of like a head nod, mini bow type of thing, and be like, ah, Father Valek, I know you from the stories from my father.
He kind of lowers his hammer a little bit. And kind of like just gives an acknowledgement nod before turning back to the guy in front of him. And just gives him a hard kick.
He doesn't even want to know who my dad was. It's fine.
not everybody needs to know who your daddy is.
As he kicks the guy that's in front of him, Phalar, seeing that, kind of gives like the singular ha kind of chuckle. It's probably the first time anybody has heard him laugh this entire time. And he's just kind of like, I see we have somebody else who hates these men as much as we do.
You see Father Velik, like, almost with a stoic, stern expression on his face, is like now standing over this guy. Has like, it is now like, as the guy's coming to, like, almost amused, like, pressing the edge of his warhammer almost into the guy's neck. He's like, you can do this the easy way or the hard way. What artifacts are you moving, and who? The guy kind of like, still almost startled from coming to, like, they're just told to move it for the Herald. He says he's going to bring back the old gods and he wants to start the war again. Well, they're really just almost like still like pressing it down even further is like, who's this herald? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know his name. I don't know his name. I don't know his name. Not good enough. As like almost out of hesitation, like brings his warhammer back and just slams it as hard as he can to the guy's knee. So he yells out in pain. Now I ask you again. Who is the herald? I don't know his name. I don't know who he is. I don't know. He like brings him back in, but hesitates. I believe you. And then just smacks him, like gives him a quick tap with his shield and knocks him out again. Well, that's not good.
We've been trying to find some info on these people as well. We've got no lead on who the Herald truly is, but we do know he's been collecting artifacts.
Well, my only concern is the cold hunger. That I couldn't give a shit about the other gods.
It does seem that they may be operating for the Herald under a being of such a name, as they seem to think that said being can bring power to those who do not believe in the other gods.
Well,
That being said, this cult seems to be very widespread.
seems so.
He kind of looks over at Klaus and Andonia and Otto, and he's like, they can confirm as well. We've seen them several times.
Yes.
Yes, at the current moment, my mother is in search of a specific chalice and has sent me to recover it for her.
What chalice is this?
Oh crap, we have the name, don't we?
Chalice of Unmaking.
Yeah, I was going to the player notes to see if we had it. So I'll say a chalice of unmaking.
uh,
Yeah,
that's...
yeah. So she'll say chalice of unmaking, and it seems that this herald either knows the whereabouts or is in the process of has his hands on the chalice.
When y'all first met him in that temple, he had the chalice.
Oh, I know. We didn't know that, so that's why I was wording
Yeah.
it like he either has it or knows how to get it.
Yeah, y'all just saw he had something, but y'all don't.
He had
Yeah.
a cup of some kind, but we didn't know if it was the chalice.
Yeah. And looks down at this guy saying, "Well, see if this other guy knows anything." He'll move over. He'll look over at you, Klaus, saying, "You want to take a try? You want to take a stab at it?"
Sure.
And
I'll
he'll do the same thing and give this guy a hard kick in the ribs to wake him up.
I will tell him, if you do not want to die a slow and painful death of agonizing with poison, tell us your next moves. What is the cult planning? Where are they gathering? What is to come?
Only thing I know is we're supposed to find the prophet. He knows the location of more artifacts for the ritual. Once we have enough artifacts, we can begin the ritual of unmaking. Undo the divine lattice.
And who is this prophet?
I don't know. One thing I know is he lives in one of the old cities from a first stage. Nobody can. He's a hard man to find. We've been looking for him.
I see. Well, you have outlived your usefulness. So I will grant you the most painful death you can deal with poison.
Wait, he's gonna shove a wyvern poison into his mouth.
I'm going to give him the kiss of death.
Which is what?
I'm gonna put the poison in my mouth and then put it into his mouth.
Oh yeah, that is a thing, yeah.
Yes, do make a con save.
I've got to. Oh, Where is it? To do this, everybody also will get to see Klaus's face. And Donya will.
Oh yeah, everyone else
They
gets
won't
to
have-
see Klaus's face now.
Yeah, 'cause I gotta rip my mask off, so I gotta take 7 points of psychic damage.
7 points of psychic damage, Skeleton Warrior.
He fails, so rolls 7d6. Poison.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Does poison have explosive damage?
I mean, if it's...
Does that matter at this level?
I see 2 6s.
Yep, so
I was gonna say,
more.
does that matter when it's this magnitude of damage? I see a second 6. That's
2
oh.
6s, another 2 6s,
So wait, I have, what, 24,
Nice.
so...
plus 12, plus 6. So 24 plus 18.
He's probably instant dead.
42. I think. 44. I don't know.
He's surprisingly still alive.
He is very poisoned.
He's
Yeah.
just like violently seizing on the ground, but his heart is still beating.
And then Klaus would stand up.
I think Valix would tell us, take a sigh, walk up.
To remove a poison now.
As he walks up and this man is still alive, Phalar would have been walking over as the interrogation was going on, and he's got like the itchy trigger finger thing going on as he's holding his knife in his sheath, and he's like, "May I finish him off, if you are done with him?"
You can finish the other one that is there, but let this one suffer.
Understood.
Yeah, the other one's unconscious.
So he'll walk over to the other, and he's gonna pull out pick and pocket, and he's gonna kneel down and just, instead of like slashing, he's just gonna pretty much drop point it straight into his throat.
That works.
If anybody needs a reference to what Klaus looks like, just look at the modeling photos he posted earlier.
And I will, because I ended the life, or life was ended within 30 feet of me, I will use the thing to turn him into a soul trinket.
Alright.
So, you know, knife goes into his neck, he speaks the word for soul in Abyssal, and then he pulls it into a, we'll just go with like a little locket.
See, Valix just like puts a hand over his eyes as the guy's seizing, and just you hear him mutter a prayer before, almost like a ceremonial sacrifice, holds the hammer above his head, and then just smashes his skull.
Now here's a question. Because I still have one slot open for stealing souls. Do we want me to take his soul too, so we have 2 cultists trapped? Because I still have 1 trinket slot open. Should I do it?
It's up to you.
Yeah, it depends on how badly you want a soul.
Because I can hold up to 4, and I'd say due to one of Phalar's personality quirks, one of his flaws that he's got, it's like the second that he's done taking the soul from the one guy, his head snaps over and he sees Valek probably bring the hammer down on the other one, and he reaches his hand out and takes the soul from the other cultist too. So now he's just got 2 trinkets in his hand and he just stuffs them in his pocket. Stands back up, puts his knife back away, shakes his head a little bit, just like, whew. It's a kick every time that I do that. It is quite a lot of energy.
I'll have to wait till we take a long rest to attune to my mask again, so I'll be maskless. Well, I can put it on, I just can't use it. I'll attune to it again.
I mean,
If that's the case, at least we'll be able to hear you talking normally.
you basically doing what Silas does, except be more cosmetic than anything else.
So yeah, it'd just be cosmetic for now. So I'll put it back on. So I can.
I'll say since you're not attuned, you can speak normally.
So, we're gonna take this moment to show a different side. I've never done something like this about table. So I'm gonna give it a whirl here. So, Andonia noticing Klaus without his mask on and being 18, hormones, all that stuff. So what she's gonna do is before he puts his mask back on, she's gonna go up and just kind of take her right hand and gently caress the left side of his face, and then follow his jawline with her finger down to her nail, and then just kind of give a little flick as if to give a little tiny scratch, and then smile, and then walk off.
Klaus would chuckle and then put his mask back on.
Yeah, I think you would feel Valix kind of elbow you in the ribs slightly and give you a look.
Like what? I'm 2 years old.
He laughs.
Oh, above table, I figured Klaus would have been like, "That's Atmosphere's daughter. I ain't touching."
What?
Now, if you knew what
Oh,
Klaus was doing in the
wow.
background,
Because all Father Valek knows is that he's grouped and partied with and been on adventures with my dad.
So now here's the interesting thing is, does Father Valek take that as a flirt, or does he automatically assume that the two are already paired?
the question is Atmosphere around? Does he see that?
You don't know. You haven't. Only like you saw Atmosphere appear, talk Andonia down, then kind of give you kind of a stern look, and then disappear. And you haven't seen him since. So you don't know.
Yeah.
Here we are. I now have all 4 soul trinkets.
Andonia, you can swear on the peripheral vision. You swear you see a set of eyes looking at you from a distance. Like it's just in the very edge of your peripheral. Like you see something is there.
Can I do perception, see if I can get a better look? I've got, well, I've got dark vision, but I don't think that helps right now, depending on the time of day.
Yeah, roll perception.
While she's doing that, can I?
I rolled a natural 1, so I'm seeing
Oh no!
things.
Yeah,
It's happening again.
You have no idea. You see something and it's gone.
Can I lift my mask up a little bit and take a sip from my wineskin to rinse the taste of the poison out of my mouth?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Alright.
I don't know if it was just me above the table or if Late Light got away from his microphone there for a second, because you asked about taking a drink from your wineskin, and all I hear is her.
Her.
I was like, I think Late's already taken a drink from it.
Alright, well, what y'all want to do?
Should we make camp for the night and then head back to town in the morning?
Yeah.
I mean, we got a partial house right here. We could just.
Are you gonna head all the way to Vale or back to the village?
We were heading to Vale, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're looking for the husband, which, while I was gone above table, we found.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something
Yeah.
else we were looking for here too?
There's
Because we were on our way here when we found out about the husband also being this way.
like basically like the husband and the mercenary quest are kind of like have merged into one basically.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were up here to figure out what was up with the mercenaries smuggling stuff, but then also the person's husband was missing, and it turns out that the mercenaries were likely smuggling for the cult, and the husband was killed by the cult.
Yep.
So a 2-for-1.
So that's why Phalar has been remarking things like it's insane that pretty much the entire world is just meshing into being the cult's fault. Because every single place we've been, they've been there.
Well, above table from the village notice board, if we head back to the village, we can turn in 2 out of the 4 missions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a half day travel. I say we can rest here tonight and then head back to the village in the morning.
That sounds like a plan. I could do with some rest, really. And I can always have Valatia sit out and wait.
Welcome back, Grimbeard.
Well, I mean the house is. I would say you can see the house, but it's
What about you, Father Valak? Are you
it's
gonna stay the night?
yeah. I'll stay and I gotta get back to my post in the village.
Alcohol with me. We can catch up on old times.
Sounds good to me. So, y'all being set up camp. Where are you gonna set up camp? What, by the burning house? Would provide
The
warmth.
stream's still moving around.
and the
Maybe his mic got disconnected.
So, where are y'all gonna set up camp? By the burning house, I guess?
Is it still burning right now?
Yeah.
Oh. I think we were thinking of sleeping in the house, but if it's still burning.
But at this point, it's like roof is gone, most of the walls are gone. It's like, at this point, it's more like it's now it's like getting to the point where like most of the fire is reaching like the structural part of it.
Above table, I can mark, there's this open spot right here that's just empty. We can't
True.
there.
Oh yeah, that's a rather flat spot. I mean, Phalar, Otto, and Alatia came over through there, and I think Klaus did before us, so I think we'd know that spot's there.
True.
Guess that one's down there. Oh well. So yeah, if y'all wanna set up camp there, I'll keep watch first. Me and Father Valak will, while y'all rest.
Alright.
I will
So-
move all the way over to the wall. and hang
So,
out with Father
I was
Valak
about
and
to say,
Valak.
before Mr. Klaus went and took off, what Antonia was going to do, as I mentioned before, something new I'm trying. So she's going to turn. So now Klaus is behind her, and as she's turning, she's going to, quote-unquote, accidentally drop her scythe, and then she's going to bend at the hips to pick it up and be like, oh, how clumsy of me, right in front of Klaus. And then she's going to move to the spot.
Oh.
Looks like Klaus has got something to sort out now.
Yeah. Good thing I put the 18 plus on my stream.
Hey, I haven't gone that extreme yet, I'm just saying.
The Father Billy, I'm sure, will give you another look like, dude.
Oh,
The question is how Klaus is reacting, because if he's not acknowledging any of it, then it's fully possible that Valak is either like, oh my god, are you seeing this? Or oh my god, how are you not seeing this?
Huh. What is this cantrip Klaus has? Desire. I can cast at will.
My god.
Oh no. Wait, does it say it's a cantrip? It shouldn't be.
They asked how you made it with a cantrip.
No, this thing is supposed to be, what, at first level?
I think so. It's too powerful as a cantrip.
Yeah, I'll go back and fix it later.
Oh, that would be
Okay.
insane as a cantrip. Imagine going around town. Now you're aroused. Now you're aroused.
Nah. If only it made you aroused. It's a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
See, I already did that on auto.
Yeah, and then tried to cast it on Phalar, and Phalar was like, maybe another time, I'm doing delicate work here, because he was trying to carve celestial runes into a piece of resin.
Mhm.
The question is, if I dry this Wyvern Eye, how much is it going to shrink? Because eyeballs are mostly water, so if it's like basketball sized, it would probably end up like between tennis ball and ping pong sized by the time it would lose all of its water.
So as they're setting up camp, just to play into it, trying something new too. Klaus, as him and Father Valak are walking to go take guard, he'll tell Idonia that she can join them if she would like whenever she's finished resting up.
Yo, late.
Yeah.
Since it's mostly for flavor, would you still want me to roll to see if I can get down to this little ledge without falling, since it's over 10 feet?
Yeah.
Because if not, you know, the whole D6.
Yeah.
So, with, you know, athletics, acrobatics, either or.
Yeah, either or.
I have expertise. That's funny. I have expertise in athletics, and it's still one less than my acrobatics.
Mm.
I don't have proficiency with acrobatics, though. I only have that because the ghosts have been telling me how to do it.
Oh damn! Father Valak set a camp up for y'all right there.
Yeah.
Set of tombstones.
If I could
Yeah.
actually...
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, just on the other side of where we're at. Okay.
Oh, well, if we're gonna go to that one, I'll probably hop to this ledge, which, yeah, from up here, that would still be more than 10 feet, so I'll still roll.
I know this map isn't big enough, late. This is 180. Do you just want to call that 300 for this map's sake?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, not to scale, it's just a big asterisk at the top of the map.
Yeah.
So I shall roll to see if I can, you know, kind of do like a foot slide kind of thing, like, you know, skate the ledge. I'll do
Say after he
We'll do-
sets up camp, he'll Available will join you.
We'll do acrobatics because he's gonna kind of do like that, you know, the side flip and then try to skirt himself down the wall.
Alright.
I will pull out a barrel of wine.
Is it the drugged one or a non?
Non-drugged.
Okay.
One of the ones
That
I
would be a
bought from
terrible thing to drink when you're about to go on watch.
Can you imagine he forgets or casually forgets which one is the drugged one and he hands it to Father Valak?
I don't even know if I can be affected by drugs anymore. Are drugs considered a poison?
No.
Yes, it depends on if it has immediate bad effect on you.
Yeah.
Could you imagine forgetting which one is which? You take a drink out of it, and Valak takes a drink out of it, like Pharaoh was saying, and then it's just like this whole debacle of you call for us because there's danger, and then it turns out you're just seeing all of the ghosts who have died in these ruins.
Nah, I'm thinking more Princess Bride. He's built up a tolerance to poison. He just drinks it, poisons both of them. So yeah, I'll take a barrel of meat out for me and him to share.
Alright.
So I rolled a 14 on that check to see if I could get down there safely.
Yeah, you're fine.
So yeah, Phalar looks around at the camp, gives a nod, and then he kind of gauges the distance, and then he down the wall onto this ledge, and just kind of sits down with his back to the stone. And like the Dark Souls by the bonfire thing, you know, one leg crossed in front, one leg up.
Ah. Alright.
And as we're sitting here drinking, I will ask Father Valek to tell me what has been going on in the world the past few years while I was gone.
You know, like probably over the next hour or so, you just feel how like all the BS politics and uh, but basically like over his telling, it's didn't seem like not a whole lot more. Uh, that you sense that there is growing tension between the Elf Kingdom and the rest of Eldoria over like trade, and it seems like that now like it's gotten to a point where it's that almost like they can't make agreements on trade, or does they even want to, that now it's like the arguments have gotten so bad that now like neither side will now even talk to each other.
Come on, guys! It's only been 2 years since you helped save the world.
Oh, that's interesting. I may have to visit my homeland soon. And I will pull out my pipe and start smoking from it and making my skull-shaped clouds as I exhale and offer him a hit of it from my pipe.
He pulls out his own pipe and starts smoking.
Okay, I see I was wondering why my screen was shaking. The Shield Guardian was dancing over there.
They need to make that a localized thing so that it doesn't affect everybody on the map.
Yeah.
So what is going on with the rest of the party while we're over here drinking?
Phalar skirted down to sit on that ledge, and I sent a thing in general of what he's pretty much doing. That's how he's sitting right now. The Shield Guardian's just kind of walking back and forth around the camp. Don't know what Andonia's doing.
Just, well, Andonia's probably, well, oh, and take this moment, I can do another percentile late, because she's gonna try to focus and see if she can get any grasp on, is there, the chance that she can find a way to control this, or if she's still just out of control.
Yep, roll it to me.
Damn it. Alright.
Yep, still.
Yep, still nothing.
Yeah, I'll say
I mean, it has only been the first time, so.
Yeah, you're still. I would say this point is still like overwhelming and alarming that this happened.
Could probably increase the chance after every time that it's happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why I say it's only been the first time.
Yeah.
Caught everyone, including herself, off guard. The only one who seemed to be calm about it was Dad, but Dad's used to changing into stuff.
Stuff.
A werewolf is not stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. I've been awake since 4:30 this morning. I'm tired.
Oh yeah, speaking of, I've completely glazed it whenever somebody asked it before. I blinded entirely when it was said. What time of day is it? About.
I'm like now it's probably approaching sun's starting to now set, so it's probably closer to
So just around sunset, sun's
yeah.
probably starting to touch the horizon.
Yeah. So like
Pretty much about what the sun would actually be doing, given the map's lighting.
Yeah.
Also, I need to stop Phalar from glowing. I forgot he had torch equipped. Yeah, there we go.
While we're sitting here, I will get a few extra cups out I may have in my bag of holding, and fill 3 of them up, and have one of the skeletons walk it over to the other party members.
Alright. Skeleton kind of, it's like y'all are sitting there, skeleton kind of waddles over. Probably still spilling some of it over. Like not even being careful at all.
When he comes or gets up to Andonia while she's sitting near the tent, she's gonna kind of put her hand up and tell the skeleton to let whoever sent it know, thanks for the offer, but she doesn't drink.
I just turns, like didn't say a word, just turns and waddles over to the rest of you.
So it'd be like, as that happens, Otto's over here too. He just hasn't moved as many. At least I'm assuming Otto's probably over here.
See.
So skeletons have come to offer us drink. Andonia declined.
Well, she politely declined because
Yeah.
she doesn't drink.
So Andonia politely declined. Will you take the skeleton's drink?
Late. Should I roll how hungry I am?
I think that part would kind of be like up to you individually to just decide, like, do you want to leave it up to chance?
Yeah, I'll just leave it up to chance. Should I roll d20?
Yeah, just roll d20. I'll say.
I was gonna say probably either that or a con save.
I'll say just roll d20. 10 or lower, you're fine. 10 or 15 or higher, you're fine.
Okay, I rolled a 4, so I'm not fine.
Yeah, I'll say before Taylor, before you even get a chance, you watch Otto grab both mugs and chug both down.
See, I don't even know if Phalar would see that or not, because he's down at like 12-foot ledge right now. He's just back against the wall.
I think probably the skeleton not really knowing what to do probably waddles over to you, and you just hear a clatter as a cup just drops at your feet.
Now the question is, did it drop uniformly or did it spill?
There you go. I put in the general chat what Otto's doing.
I mean, it's a skeleton, so it's probably not being very neat about it. It just walks up to the edge and just drops it.
So he probably just sees a tankard drop in front of him. It probably wobbles a little bit and then ultimately ends up spilling over.
Yep.
And then he kind of just looks up, looks down at it, grabs the tankard, and then he just kind of gives like a wave, and then he pours the flask out of the side of his backpack and pours liquid into it, or into the tankard.
Probably like the moment it drops, like it looks, you two make eye contact and just turns and walks away back to Klaus.
So he was like, it may have spilled the drink, but at least I have a tankard now.
Oh, I found it finally here. Post that.
Alright, so I'll also say eventually Klaus and Father Valek finish your watch. And roll perception. Roll for Father Valek.
I'll roll for me. Perception.
Father Valek got a 10.
I got a 17.
Yeah. It's a an uneventful watch.
Alright, I'll tell
It's just
Father Valak he can go get some rest and to send someone else up here.
He'll nod and... Yo!
I don't know why above table, but when you say Father Valak rolled a 10, I just imagine in my head while him and Klaus are sitting there, Valak suddenly goes, "Look, a tree."
Then Father Valak, like, makes his way up saying, "Alright, one of y'all is up. Or watch."
Yeah. Antonia's just gonna be like, I would, but with what I endured, I kind of need some rest.
The question is, do we want to count the Shield Guardian as a candidate for watch? Just have somebody go out there and awkwardly stand next to the 14-foot tall stone man trying to make conversation.
Yeah, at least not until he teaches sign language or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he comes over here, Klaus can at least do his trance and get his sleep being far away.
I'll say Father Valak kind of mentions y'all to go take next, and he just walks in the tent and curls up in his bedroll.
Taylor will make his way back up the rocks, which will probably be easier than going down them because it looks like there's some nice footholds by the map.
Yeah.
And as he's kind of, hopping his way back through, he comes up, gives a nod, and he's like, I could take a shift.
In Antonia's state, she's gonna mishear what he just said and be like, you can go to the trees.
Shaylor will just kind of do a slight eyebrow raise and then brush it off with a subtle head shake. Just like So then I assume,
While that's going on with... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
unless Otto wants to come with, I could have Alatia go with me as a second person since I can communicate with it telepathically. I mean, it can't respond, but
I can follow you.
so we can go with. I'll leave Alatia behind at the camp to watch in case anybody tries to come up on the camp directly.
Alright.
Yeah.
So as he heads in the direction that they came from, he'll look at Otto and he'll be like, "All right, Otto, on our way. It's our turn to watch." And then he turns and looks at the shield guard and he's just like, "You stay here, guard the camp."
And as you see, like, turns and just stares at the tent.
Now, don't forget, if y'all come over here, nobody at the camp can rest. Unless we're all three hanging out over here.
I mean, they can always come over for the watch and then
Yeah.
leave when it's over.
Yeah.
I think you say you wanted since you want to do something while they're doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my trance and
Do your trance for 4 hours.
yeah, and just during that I'll just have not really dreams but visions of all the events in my life that have led up to this point and everything that's happened to me.
Alright.
Just reflecting on it.
I'll say,
Take my long rest.
I will say, Baylor do a perception check, and this will be the last watch for the evening.
Alright. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is like one of the first times I've played a character who doesn't have perception proof. That's lovely.
Well, as you're concerned, is completely quiet.
This is actually kind of fitting because we can just say that he's distracted because he has other things on his mind right now because there is something else on his mind right now.
When I wake up from my trance and they're still on watch, can I, from the shadows, look at Otto and cast Desire on him?
Oh my god, not again.
What's the range on it?
I'm gonna get within 30 feet of him.
First make a stealth check to see if you can get that close without him noticing.
Alright. Fuck! 5.
I'll say.
Why?
I'll say. I'll do like you happen to be like sitting by the fire and you hear like a crack crack of a twig behind you as you kind of instinctively look over your shoulder and see Klaus right there, kind of like almost like mid like incantation as he's looking at you.
What are you trying to do to me?
I am trying to let's see here. Set alarm so we can hear if anybody comes up on us when we're at the camp.
If you're trying to do that, but why are you trying to sneak behind me?
I wasn't trying to think. I was just walking. I just woke up from my trance and it's still early morning and I didn't see the twig.
Make a deception check.
Let's see here. I should be attuned to my mask again during my long rest. Let's see. I'm trying to see here. Hold on. Oh no, it's only disadvantage in bright light. Okay. You said deception?
Yep.
Only it was persuasion. 19.
I'll then make an insight.
Inside. 16?
Seems believable. What are you saying?
Okay. Please stop sneaking behind me.
I wasn't sneaking. I've already said that.
Well, I don't know. You've done something to me in the past before.
I was just trying to test out a spell.
Yeah, right. That's what you said last time. Then Otto just turns around. Just chills behind the campfire, I guess.
You're just close order to getting the finger of death. Or disintegrate.
Alright, I fixed desire. I think you have to unlearn it and relearn it, so I'll go with it right.
Okay.
But
Delete.
I just don't know how long it'll take to update D&D Beyond, so I just saved it.
I'm probably gonna need a refresh. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, I'll head back to the campfire too, and we can discuss what we're doing in the morning while I try and figure this out.
I will say, yeah, everybody wakes up.
I'd say, when Phalar came back from watch, he probably scaled back down to that ledge with his back against the wall, and he probably took out a piece of parchment, and for, you know, like the 2 hours that you get out of a long rest of light activity, he was probably scrawling just repeatedly, like the same pattern of something over and over again on the piece of parchment, and he doesn't quite remember what it is, but he just keeps drawing it on the parchment. Late, you might know what it is based on the thing you generated for his background.
Yep.
So he doesn't remember what that is, but he keeps like drawing some kind of piece of a map on a parchment paper for his free time during the long rest. And then once he realizes he can't remember, he gets frustrated, puts it all in his bag, and then goes and sleeps.
I'll say also that it's like the more you're around Klaus, the more that I remind you of your old master. It's like that the more you see that glowing purple eye, the more just like because you more just almost like
Yeah.
It's like staring at
I'd also say like the reason that the
again.
memory of that, you know, like the fragment of the map layout is coming back to him is because he started using some of his powers again.
Yeah.
It's like what I was thinking about it. I mean, you got to think about it. If you haven't used the ability to steal souls in who knows how long, and then one day you just decide, yeah, I remembered how to do it, and then you steal what, 7 souls in a day?
Yeah, I think a lot.
No,
I
5. Yeah, 5.
think a lot's gonna come back.
Because I took 3, then used 1, took 2 more, so yeah, 5.
So we're all sitting around the campfire
Yep.
talking.
Right now, Andonia is probably right about here. This is where she sat down,
Alright.
trying to figure out what the heck happened and what she can do about it.
Let's see what Father Valek says. I'm going to come and sit right here next to Andonia.
Hey, late, you got people talking to you in your chat.
Oh,
Oh, you?
yeah. ID William 30. Or no, Lydy.
Lydia?
H. Lida.
Lydia?
Hi, Olivia.
Yeah,
Lydia
there you
Ward?
go.
Welcome to Insanity.
It's almost
Rather
over.
low insanity right now.
Yep. I'm alive every Saturday. Well, trying to. Hi.
Yeah, look at that. Got it right. Lydia.
Yep. If you don't trust me, that looked like an H to me.
Hi. As I do an awkward wave.
Hi.
No, what was that? Liar Liar, where Jim Carrey wraps all that tape around his face, and then he does like this weird, awkward little finger waggle.
Yeah.
His boss gives him a look like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, I need to do this. Well, I'm here for a second.
Alright, so you sit down next to Nyonya.
Yep. Does Father Valek look at me or say anything?
Right
Yeah.
now, Andonia is sitting on her butt with her legs kind of brought up towards her chest, with her elbows sitting on her knees, and then her head resting in her hand, the palms of her hands, as she's trying to, figure all that out.
I'll say you see Father Bailey kind of mm, like make eye contact through your mask and kind of like give you a nudge with his head toward Nyonya, like, come on.
So he's against it at first, now he's encouraging it.
Yeah. I mean, he was never discouraging. He was more like, dude.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Technically, in human years, Klaus is 25. He may be 250. But he's been dead, and now he's back. He looks 25 anyways. Oh, I just noticed we had the same base.
Who?
Huh?
Me and Adonia.
Oh,
yeah, on
mine.
your minis.
Stone base. Yeah, on the minis.
Oh, the stone base. Yeah. Well, I think it.
Mine just has the runes painted on it and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Mine was supposed to have runes on like the black piece of the base.
Well, I mean, I think Tailspire, the
Oh,
Tailspire
okay.
uses the same base for everybody.
And also, it depends, because Tailspire renders stuff a little bit differently than Hero Forge directly, which is always why, you gotta take it with a tiny grain of salt and be like, alright, how does he actually look once I put him into Tailspire?
So, as we're
Like,
sitting
I can
here,
see very faint red lines on the base of Indonia's rock.
as we're sitting here, in his whispered voice, Klaus will ask her, "What is wrong?"
But she's zoned out, so she's unaware that you're even there. Not in a rude way. She's just like
Well,
zoned.
seeing that, he will nudge her on the shoulder. He will like kind of shoulder bump her with his shoulder or elbow. That's how people do it. Yeah, elbow. Yeah.
She kind of give a startled jump and look in his direction.
And just see his pale blank mask again. And he would repeat the question, asking, "What's wrong?"
And she's gonna pretty much whisper back since he whispered. She's just gonna acknowledge and do it back. And she's gonna let him know she's trying to rack her brain, trying to figure out what happened during the fight. She blacked out when Phalar almost died, and then she came to when her father was there, and then she blacked out again. Then she was at her mother's, and then so she's just trying to wrap her head around everything that happened.
Well, it seemed like you had quite the power surge come through you, and you transformed.
She's gonna give a surprised and scared look at the same time, because
Thankfully,
when yeah, wait, was owned 3D? Sorry, I just looked up and saw it. It says late subscribed to Bam, and then it says Bam subscribed to you.
Yeah, we subscribe to each other.
on my 3-month anniversary. We've been together 3 months, guys. It's getting pretty serious.
I know Indonia's taking advantage of that. I mean, but no, she's gonna say she's got a look of surprise, shock, and fear all on her face at once, because as far as she knows, when Phalar almost died, she blacked out until her dad was there. Then she blacked out again. So all she knows is she saw him almost die. Then her dad was there. Then she was home.
So, Klaus will explain what happened with Phalar, how we defeated him, her blacking out, Atmosphere catching her in his arms, and then setting her down and leaving, and then me having my minion take her home.
It's right at this moment that you see the air shift a little bit as your slider appears.
And I'll tell her you can thank this guy for taking you home.
She kind of reach out a little bit, not in a scared sense, but more of she doesn't know if it's gonna, try to bite or something. So she's gonna reach out and kind of pat it on its head.
Dude, if I can get the trying to get that to turn. Oh well.
You have to hold.
You click. Yeah, there you go.
You hold Alt to rotate it.
Okay. Klaus will say, "It's okay. Not gonna hurt.
Are you gonna
For
tell?
your style.
It just looks at you with a curious gaze.
You can speak to him. He can talk to you telepathically.
She'll look at him and she'll say thank you, and then she'll kind of cock her head to the side. And above table, late. I'm randomly throwing this in here because I'm ad-libbing this part right now.
Alright.
Because of what happened with her blacking out and stuff like that. So something in her has changed. So she's gonna kind of tilt her head and she's gonna say out loud, "You remind me of someone, but I can't quite remember." So above table, the event has caused her to no longer know who Critter was.
You just it tilts its head to one side and you just hear in your head, "You're welcome." Then I'll say it turns, like just grabs this meat that's over the fire with both hands, just starts devouring it.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna say as he's leaving, I was just gonna take a ration from my backpack and kind of toss it to him, but never mind, he's eating.
But he's eating like the meat and bone. Like after he eats it, like breaks the bone in half and then starts sucking out the marrow.
I'll tell him to come back and I'll pull out Ronan's body to give to him.
You see, it just like lets out this like big toothy grin. That's just like grabs it, drags it, kind of like behind the tent. Where you just hear crunching, and sprays of blood.
Well, now, Donya, I think we should join the rest of the group and figure out today's plans.
She's gonna kind of steer off and she'll say, "You go ahead. I'm still trying to figure everything out and recollect myself."
All right, and as he stands up, he'll walk over there, and as he does, he will.
As he walks by, Andonia slaps him in the butt.
Before I leave, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder and tell her I'm always here to talk, and then walk away. As she slaps my butt.
Yep, as he's walking away is when she slaps.
So as Klaus shows up into the regrouping, Valor kind of looks over at him and then looks at Valak and then kind of motions at Klaus and says, "You are a man out of time in a way. You have come back from the dead, so you've said." And he points to Valak. He goes, "You seem to have a lot of experience in your life. You've been a lot of places. You've killed Vecna twice, from what you have said."
Yes, that's right.
And then he's gonna take out the scroll case from his pack. He's gonna be, "Last night, after I had used my soul extraction so much, I kept having this repeating pattern in my head, and it, for the first time in a long time, I felt genuine frustration. I could not make heads or tails of it, and I figured I'd ask the both of you, because both of you have had quite a lot of experience in this world, if you might know what it is." He's going to take that parchment that he was scrolling, that piece of the map that he knows on, and it's just pretty much, it's the same like part, like small section of some kind of overhead, map kind of thing, just repeated all over the parchment paper. And like you probably know why I selected those two for it is because both of them have had experience with what it's related to.
Yeah.
So he's asking if either of you would know what the map might be linked to or what it is.
Father Vela kind of looks it over. Oh. Roll history check for him, if he remembers. Oh no. He rolled a 4.
Oh,
I'll look at it next and see if I can recall anything.
Father Baylor's just like, it's a picture.
I mean, all things considered, it's not the greatest map in the world. It's kind of like Madman scrawling a thing all over the place, like the Crystal Skull in Indiana Jones.
You see like Father Vela's like holding out arms length, like rotating it, like.
It's pretty much if you imagine like like a kid doodling on homework, except it's just the same thing doodled all over the page.
You see, I can make heads or tail of this, and he passes it over to you, Klaus.
I will look at it and see if I can remember or see if I know where this goes or leads.
Make a history check.
And maybe even, above table, just suggestion, maybe even if not what it pertains to, maybe where it is.
Yeah.
So when he rolls, give me a second here. Let me see if I can find it again. Because I always lose track. Alright, so he rolled a history. That's an ability check, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'll give everybody within 30 feet of me, which is everybody, the +4 for the next minute.
Yeah, it didn't really make a difference for Valek. That'll become an 8.
But for Klaus, it turns it into an 18 instead of a 14.
Yeah.
Which, again, even if he might not know exactly what it's for, he might know where it is, which is what Bill is trying to figure out.
Failure, I'll let you reveal it. Since it's your drawing.
It's the Flying Dutchman's treasure.
It's a treasure map.
Well, Phalar in character doesn't exactly know what it is himself, but, like completely above table, of course. I'll kind of let Leighton Klaus, you deliberate how much of this Klaus is able to determine with the 18. Phalar, in his time, in his past, uncovered part of a map and part of a writing that he had ingrained into his head for one of Vecna's relics. So now it's starting to come back into his head. But of how much of that you guys would know, or like if you just in general recognize the location that it might be connected to, is kind of up to GM.
Yeah, like I'll say, like even with history about Taz, yeah, I would say even with that 8, he has no idea. But I'll say.
And then Klaus was an 18, I think. It was the 14 plus 4.
I'll say it's a.
Phalar's mostly looking to figure out where it is, because he's still trying to know what it is too, but...
I'll say, you understand that for Klaus, that this is part, like, a section of a map, but you gather that by him drawing it over and over, that's probably important, but beyond that, I'll say you can't really get much context beyond that. You just know that it's probably important, but it's in some kind of map to something.
So in character, you probably just kind of know, like, it leads to something important, but not where.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I can tell is it's leading somewhere important, but I do not know where.
That might be why I am remembering it so fervently. We'll have to see if I can recall more of the map as it goes on. And he kind of gives like a very small chuckle, and it looks like there's more than one of us in the party that have had trouble with their memories.
Father Valley just laughs.
So are we heading to Vale or back to Moonstone Village first?
He kind of takes the paper back, folds it back away, and is just like, we should probably head back down to the village to report our findings to the merchant and the wife.
Sounds
So,
good.
so are you?
Tell
are-
them that we found the mercenaries and that sadly the husband has passed on.
Are you gonna take the husband's body back to her, or are you gonna like
Well,
bury it out
Indonia-
here or what?
Antonio will take the body back.
Keep in mind, it's like half of its upper skull is gone and has no brain.
Oh yeah, because Klaus ate his brain.
Okay, we don't need to be saying that now.
Well, I
Yeah, we
wasn't there.
Why you
I
did
was,
it?
Antonia was
Yeah.
not there for the brain eating. All she knows is that he has passed on and his brain is missing. So
Yeah, so just nobody
her
mention it.
taking her, while you guys go and do the merchant one, she can take the body back to the wife. And before she goes carrying it, she's gonna take the hemp rope and backpack and stuff, or not backpack, but a sleeping bag that she's got, so she can properly wrap it. So that way it's not a sudden.
Give it a burial bag.
Yeah, that way it's not just here's half of your body, or here's half of your husband, and slap it down on a table or something.
Hey, so your husband's dead. Congratulations, you now own half of his body. Why did I pull out my game show voice? I have a game show host voice that I can do, and it just came out a little bit there.
So that's what Indonia's gonna do, because she's been showing compassion, like with the ring and stuff like that. So she's gonna properly use her rope and her sleeping bag to wrap the body before she goes carrying it back.
Yeah, so make like a makeshift body bag, basically.
Yep.
Out of character for him, Klaus will help her wrap the body up.
Okay.
Every so often, Indonia making sure that her hands touch
Oh.
his hands. Just kind of, as they're tying a knot, all of a sudden she just reaches over to grab another piece of rope and accidentally, quote unquote, like graze his hand and, ignore the fact that she did it. She doesn't look at him when she does it. I didn't think I was going to kill the voice chat. Holy cow.
I was trying to think of.
I'll say probably by this time it's like the slab just comes back, just covered in blood. Still like with a couple of bones in its hand, kind of crunching on it.
Oh.
And
It went hunting again.
Andonia's going to see this. She's going to stand up, grab her staff, walk over to the slab, pat him on the head again, and be like, "Here, let me add some for you." And then she just kind of flick so that the scythe blade comes out and just let the blood drizzle on him a little bit, and then put it away.
It just you hear in your head, "Bati, done." It just you see it point behind the tent. You kind of like look over, you just see like there's probably nothing but like like bones that have just been like crushed to a pulp. There's not a single.
Not the one that I just wrapped up,
Not a
right?
single. No.
Okay.
Like of what's left of Ronan's
That would be
body.
terrible.
What's left of Ronan's body? There's nothing but like crunched bones. Bones.
Oh,
broken
the
into
slad took
pieces.
Ronan's body.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's gonna
Oh.
look at the slab and then point at the body that she has wrapped up to make look presentable for the wife, and she's gonna point at that, look at him, and be like, "Mine. Thank you."
The kind of like head drop saying, I wanted food. Okay. Alright, so make your way to town.
Yeah.
Phalar, as we leave, you should probably alert Singe to follow us. I think he's been burnt out
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, he probably like fell asleep or something after the fight because he took a lot of damage.
Ran out of fuel.
He's probably been trying to repair the Steel Defender, if nothing else, because he was taking some heavy hits at the start of that fight.
Yeah, I'll say you see like, you walked over, you see Sin is still like, he's now outside Steel Defender, like trying to like repair all the dents and stuff that are like the Steel Defender was like heavily damaged.
And as we walk past him, Phalar will call out and he'll be like, Singe, my small friend, bring yourself and your metal suit. We are on the way back to town.
He nods, I'll hop back in. It's like slowly walk kind of behind y'all at a distance.
Like a jerky motion because it's not fully repaired.
Yeah, exactly.
Above table. Do we know how much more longer we're gonna be going for? I gotta take my meds to sleep in 8 minutes, and I'm already tired for being awake since 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, not much.
We'll
more.
probably
sure-
just
I'm
finish
pretty
it
sure-
off with calling bringing the quests to the people.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I'm gonna get knocked out when I take these, so.
I'm guessing we'll probably turn in these quests and then call it.
Yep, that was the plan.
Which, speaking of, and late, you can have me roll for this if you'd like. Probably would be funny to do it that way, actually. As we're walking down the mountain back to town, whenever we get onto flat ground, Phalar's gonna be walking alongside the Steel Defender, and he's gonna kind of wave to it to get its attention.
I'll look down at you.
And then he just looks at it and he's like, if we're going to have you around for longer amounts of time, I'm going to have to find a way for you to be able to signal things to other members of my team and parties. So, that being said, we'll start with something simple. And then he's just going to do like a thumbs up and he's going to say, this means okay.
I'm sorry, above table. When he misspoke and said we're gonna start with something simple, I immediately figured he was handing him like a triangle with the little ting ting ting. So 1 ting for yes, 2 tings for no.
Roll an intelligence check for it to see if it understood. I rolled a natural one. It'd say like looks at you.
It probably
Wait,
mimics it, but doesn't understand what I meant by that.
But like gives a thumbs up. Just looks down at its hand. Looks over at you. Looks back at its hand. Looks back at you.
It has a -2 to intelligence, so this is going to be a tough process, but I'll get there.
Like now it's just standing there looking at its hand and back at you, over and over again. Like it's like you
I'm
definitely
probably
tell,
still
like,
walking with the group, and it's just standing there, and I put my hand back down, and I'm like, we'll work on it later. Come on.
You can definitely tell like whatever you just said it went way over its head.
It probably understood up until it probably lost what I was saying at the point where I told it what it meant. Because I'm imagining it probably understands things like, oh, I need to find a way for you to do thing, because, it follows commands.
Yeah.
So it probably understood me saying, I need to find a way for you to talk with my teammates, but then when I tried to tell it what thumbs up was, it was like,
Like, what?
So the way that I kind of think about it is like something between a toddler and a normal person. Like, it can understand what it's being told, but if you try to teach it things, that's where it's gonna fall off.
Yeah, sounds about right. Alright,
It's like
so
it knows stuff, but what it doesn't know is where it struggles.
Alright, so Andonia has made her way to the door for the widow now.
yeah,
She's gonna knock.
she gonna comes to the door. Oh, hello.
And Andonia is gonna explain with deep sympathy and condolences, and in the most professional, way, that her husband had an unfortunate encounter while doing his research with. Oh, now I gotta remember the name of that group. Hold on a second here. Let me get to the mission.
Who's the Black
With the
Talon?
Black Talon smugglers group.
Specifically, that they
and
had
that
been working for the cult.
and that he had been captured, and they had tortured him to try to get information about his research out of him. And when they didn't agree with what he said, that they took his life. And then she's going to kneel down and set the sleeping bag down in front of her.
Alright. She just falls to her knees and starts crying.
And Antonia will take a couple of steps inside and kneel down next to her and kind of console her. Kind of like a shoulder so she can just cry.
Yep. She like leans and you just sobs. So I guess the rest of you are gonna go turn in the other quest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You'll make your way over to the weapon stand. He looks at the rest of you, just like still watching the Singe very carefully. Just like staring at him with like mirrored eyes. So,
We have returned with information.
oh, good. What'd you find?
Well, it's a rather interesting situation, really. It appears that those mercenaries had been hired by the very people that we are after.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes, indeed. Otto and Klaus could probably give more info on it as well. I'm a bit caught up in my head right now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're probably over here too, because we all went to go and turn this in.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of reach under the counter, kind of pull a small box and saying, at least for your troubles. And he's gonna hand, I guess this class is the only one I see there, he'll hand you, 50 gold. And, if you want to buy anything, I'll give you, 25% off at my stand.
Oh, that is quite the deal. That is very much appreciated.
Gives a nod.
Like my mic was muted. I was gonna say, before we complete this deal, I believe you should up the pay to 100 gold and discount at 35%. because there were quite a few of them we had to take care of.
Ah, that is true.
Make it persuasion.
May I? I don't have persuasion proficiency, but I could Valar could make a small comment to try and help a little bit.
But okay, well you can ignore that. I was trying to move my mouse around and clicked on it by accident.
It's fine.
I think you already said 20, but
Yeah.
Valar would probably just kind of look over at Klaus and be like, I mean, yes, after all, I don't think they're going to be much of a problem anymore. And he just kind of grins for a moment.
He kind of looks at the rest of you. Hand you 25 more gold. 75 gold, 30% off.
100 gold, 35% off, or I will have my friend over here come and straighten all your blades. Actually, you know what? For the trouble, add another 100 gold, so 200 gold in total.
No.
I'll get right up in his face and say yes.
He just stares back, eyes narrowed. No.
I'll push my mask against his forehead and say yes.
Make an intimidation check.
$16.
No. And he's like, as you're like, it's like you're like forehead to forehead. And even as you're pushing, you see he's just meeting you with equal pressure.
And let's see here. Can I make a athletics, and I want to do it with unarmed. Can I punch him in the stomach?
Sure.
An armed strike. 25 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, 6 damage.
He's gonna punch you right back. Natural 20. You see, you take 5. You punch him. He leans over, and then as he's like standing back up, he headbutts you right under the chin.
How much damage do I take?
5.
5. Okay. I will. Swing my staff at him and hit him with my staff as I come back up.
Alright.
Melee attack with my staff. Natural 20, so 29.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh my god.
16.
Where do you strike him?
I just want to take my staff and the not the hand part, but the rounded end part that normally is on the ground, and shove it right into his stomach. Trying to knock the wind out of him.
Like you shove it, he kind of groans. His head just stares back, like, like blood trickling down his nose. And he's like now just holding on the other end of the staff, just staring at you.
I said 200 gold now.
No.
As he's holding my staff, I will.
As he's going to push your staff upward and go for another strike.
Okay.
19 to hit.
Am I able to use a reaction?
Yeah.
I'll cast shield. So it makes my AC a 21.
Alright, he like strikes that arcane barrier. It's probably by this time that Father Valek approaches. You hear him say, "What in the blubber hell is going on?"
He's trying to cheat us out of our money. And I'll say to him again, 200 gold, and then try and headbutt him with an armed strike. $14 to hit.
Misses.
Okay.
He like, it's like he just steps back. Then he steps back. It's weird, almost for a merchant, you never seen a merchant move this quickly, but like, jumps up, jumps off of the bench, spins into a spinning sidekick. Yeah, that's a 25 to hit.
Yep.
That's 10 points. And I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. 12.
You are stunned. Like the kick hits you hard enough, the world almost seems to spin as you're just dazed there for a second. It's like you're almost kind of fumbling, almost about to fall over. You feel like a hand on your back is like Father Vedic is like grabbing your back of your cloak, trying to prevent you from falling over. Father Vedic kind of pulls you back a little, back from this and saying, "I think that's enough."
I'll say, when I'm unstunned, I'll say no. It's not enough. Now, if he's going to learn, and I'm going to cast Bone Rend on him.
Oh my god!
But Father Valic has you grappled. As he has you on the back of your cloak.
Can I try and break free of the grapple?
Yep, making athletics or an athletics or acrobatics.
I'd like it to be known that since Phalar was talking to the merchant, Phalar is standing there. He's just completely doesn't know what to do.
16.
Father Valic rolled a natural 20 for 32. He has a plus 12 to his athletics. It's like you try to reach your hand out to mutter incantation, but you see Father for like someone who's half your size, he's like manhandling you, holding you back.
I'll tell Valak
So-
to let me go now.
Above table, what I imagine is, if you guys have seen it, there's, Facebook Reel and a TikTok that's going around where it's using a baby, and it's like, oh, when, I tell my wife I want to buy more Pokemon cards, and you see his baby reaching up, and you just hear a woman's voice say no, and he slaps his hand down and just starts crying, and he reaches again, he's like no, and he slaps his hand down. That's what I'm picturing between Father Valak and Klaus right now. He goes to cast a spell, no. Cast a spell, no.
Yeah, so Father Valak has you more like here, away from the guy.
I'm gonna tell Valak to let me go.
No, that's enough.
Can I use my? Am I able to use my teleport with a mask while I'm grappled?
Yeah, but it's daylight and there's no dim lighting around.
Damn. Okay.
Because right now you're in full daylight.
Can I try and break free again?
Yeah, go for it. What'd you roll?
Fuck! 16.
Father Valak rolled 21. He still has you.
I'll say, fucking let me go, Father Valak.
I said enough. And he's going to cast command on you.
Oh!
So make a wisdom saving throw.
What? Get a taste of your own medicine.
Oh no.
You have to be a 19.
What level spell is that?
I mean, he has you behind you. He has you holding you from behind, so you can't see him casting anything.
What do I need to beat? A
19.
On what saving throw?
Wisdom.
19 wisdom saving throw. 17.
Nope. You feel like you stop struggling. You feel yourself like.
Maybe that is enough.
You feel like this is enough. At least for.
I'll tell him this isn't over, and tell Father Valak to let me go. I'm leaving.
I will say Father Valak drags you away over here before letting you go.
I'll walk this way.
Phalard's kind of, after seeing that whole debacle, looks behind him at the Shield Guardian. Shield Guardian looks down at him. They exchange a glance kind of thing, as if speaking between minds. And then he looks at the shopkeeper and he's like, I apologize for the behavior of my party members. We've got quite the eccentric group.
Father Valak will go over and start talking to the merchant.
Just wait till nightfall. If I could see your stand from here, that fireball would be coming down on your flipping head.
I mean, hey, you put Father Valak in charge of security of this village. He's just doing his job.
Yes, police the people, not me.
You're a person.
You're causing trouble in this town.
I haven't started causing trouble.
Well, I think we'll end the session there.